to develop last time. And that's the ultimate goal. But along the way, we will run a different logistic regression, one that would involve uh, dummy variables. No? Ang context is, if you can recall last time, if you can recall last time, we had this table. No? By the way, am I sharing clearly? Can you view my share screen properly? Okay. So last time we had these variables in the equation table that we generated. And when we looked at the parenting variable, we had somehow a bit of difficulty interpreting it. And usually that difficulty in interpreting variables, nominal variables or categorical variables with uh, 3 or more categories, such as what we have here, parenting, no? May 4 na categories ito. Kung tingnan natin ang data natin, okay, 4 ang categories niya, no? Yan. Okay. So if you have independent variables with 3 or more categories, medyo mahirap nang i-interpret, no, ang results for that variable. And I believe this is true not only in the context of logistic regression, but even within the context of linear regression. So, last week, I just assumed na may parang working knowledge tayo with dummy coding. So, parang yun ang ginawa ko. And I think yun na rin, no, ang assumption ko dun sa ating linear regression lessons. Meaning, lessons when we discussed non-discrete choice models. Okay, in particular, we revisited linear regression. So, I had an assumption na, okay, exposed tayo sa dummy coding. So that when we encounter variables that are nominal or categorical with 3 or more categories, then we will just implement dummy coding. Okay? But, yeah, I asked you last time about it, and you said na it would be good um, to have an exposure to the process of dummy coding. Okay, is that right? Tama ba yun? If tama yun, ano naman, thumbs up. May thumbs up ba dito? And certainly that's what we hope to do, for today. Okay? We hope to do logistic regression but with dummy coding, and then yung results ng logistic regression with dummy coding or with dummy variables, yun yung gamitin natin to run simulations involving logistic regression. Okay. So having said that, we will be working on with this data set here that we had. Okay. Yan. Okay. By the way, before I'll proceed, guys, hopefully within today or tomorrow, I'll post our requirements, yung final requirements natin. This will be more of exercises as a way of letting you apply what we have learned here. Be assured that all the analytical statistical analysis requirements that would be there are those that we have covered in class. Okay, so going back, we will be working on with this data set here. So in short, we will still test this model, okay? And then AP here, academic performance, our DV or our Y is, of course, the discrete AP, meaning the nominal academic performance. So in short, we will not be using this, but we will be using this, just like last time. Okay? Ang kaibahan lang is PS Okay. Ito, this is still discrete. Yan. Ang kaibahan lang is, in our process today, we will dummy code parenting styles. Okay. Yan. We will treat parenting style as a dummy variable. So in short, we will dummy code it. Okay. You might have read something about dummy coding. So that's basically what we hope to do. Okay. So in short, before we run the model, we will first dummy code PS. Okay, so that's the first thing that we will do. So the process is this. Now we will create a dummy variable for each of the category of parenting style. Okay, ano understanding nyo pag narinig nyo yung dummy? Generally lang, pag sinabing dummy, ano yon? Pag sinabing dummy, Marichel, anong nasa mind mo? General understanding lang natin ng word na dummy. Ano, parang totoo ba 'yun pag sinabing dummy? Ah, representation kasi may something that is real, no? If na-involve kayo dun sa idea nung journalism at saka na-involve kayo sa pag-produce ng mga newsletters or mga school papers, no? Sa atin before, na hindi pa gaano digital, kaya gumagawa tayo ng dummy. I don't know kung sino sa inyo ang na-expose, but ako I was exposed sa parang club na yan in high school, no? So, yung newsletter or newspaper, gagawa ng dummy, okay? Talagang isa-simulate mo yon, create ka ng different pages as if it's the real thing, no? But you hope to produce the real thing, something like that. I think may relationship din sa idea na yon ang dummy coding in statistics, no? Because we hope uh, to create dummy variables for each of the categories ng parenting. But those dummy variables represent really the original parenting variable here. So how do we do that? Okay. So in short, to do that, we will have 4 dummy variables. One dummy variable for uninvolved parents, one dummy variable for permissive, etc., etc. So since there are 4 categories here, then we would have uh, 4 variables, but yeah, but there's an idea of yung dummy variable trap. Okay, let's note that. Dummy variable trap. Okay, so it says na, there's a problem if you would create dummy variables that is exactly equal to the categories. Okay, because you would not have a reference uh, category. Later on sa interpretation, gagamitin kasi natin yung reference category. Okay. So, to do away with that, then we would create 3 dummy variables. And so we will use one of the categories here as a reference category. Okay. So, siguro for discussion purposes, we will use uninvolved as the reference category here. So, we will not create a dummy variable for the category uninvolved. So, how does that look like, in real terms? So, what we do is we create transform and then recode into different variables. Okay. And then we click parenting here. And then we create first the dummy variable for parenting style that is authoritative, yung number 3. Okay. So parenting style, just for me to have a unique name for the output variable that SPSS would create. Okay, I would have parenting style, then para may identification ako or identification tayo, I would have authoritative. And then I will click change. Okay, accept ko lang si ano, by the way. Okay. So yon, I have clicked change, meaning to say I'm making a new variable, guys, ha. Remember yung mga exercises natin before. When you do recode into different variables, di ba, ang gagawin ng SPSS or ng software is mag-create siya ng additional variable here sa dulo. So in this case, I'm naming that variable parenting style na authoritative. Okay. So what would be the data for this variable? Click tayo sa old and new values. If you can remember last time, ang ginawa natin was range. No? Kasi ito yung process where we created ranges. No? Parang gumawa tayo ng group frequency distribution. Okay? So may parang from 0 to 74 and the next from 75 to 100, something like that. We did that for academic performance. Okay? And we also did the same process for itong motivation na NOM. Ginawa natin ang original motivation here na scale into nominal, which is low and high. We used the same process here, range. But for this time, okay, we will not use the range option here. We will use the value option here. So, yan yung default. Anong gawin natin? Sabihin natin sa SPSS na, okay, yung may code na ay may data na 3, what do you mean by 3? Balikan ko lang, guys, ha. Ito 'yon. Yung may data na 3 dito sa original parenting style, idami code mo as 1. Okay? Lahat ng other variables ay categories rather, yung 2, 1 at saka 0, i-code mo as 0. Okay? That's the idea that we want SPSS to do. So balik ako dito. Yan. Old and new values. Ang sabihin ko sa kanya, okay, yung old value na 3, yun yung sa authoritative na category. Gawin mong 1. Okay? That's the logic. Am I making sense? Yung authoritarian, which is 2, gawin mong 0. Yung permissive na 1, gawin mo ring 0. Yung uninvolved na 0, of course, gawin mong 0 yon. Am I making sense? In short, for this particular dummy variable, you recode parenting styles to be 1 and 0, where 1 is standing for authoritative and the others otherwise. Why are we doing that? Certainly because this dummy variable is for authoritative. No, authoritative. So, click natin continue yan. Okay, I hope you're following. And then, after that, we click OK. And we should expect a new variable here. Ito na yon. Okay? That's parenting style authoritative. Okay? So, tingnan natin. So, kasi authoritative ito, lahat ng authoritative, yan, for example, ito, dapat 1 siya. Okay? Lahat ng authoritative, 1 dapat. Saan pa? Ito, authoritative, 1. Kasi nga, sinabi natin sa software kanina na ang 3, gawin mong 1. Okay? On the other hand, lahat ng permissive at saka yung iba pang categories, dapat 0 sila. So, permissive is 0. Ang uninvolved is 0. Ano pa? Ang authoritarian, ito, is 0. So, in short, tama naman yung ginawa ng software, right? Okay? Save ko lang, guys. Ha? Yan. So, anong gawin natin next? Punta tayo sa variable view. Okay? And then, gawin natin yung labeling dito. Parang legend, no? Ang 1, ano yung 1? Authoritative. Yan, ha? Ang 0 is otherwise. Okay? 0 is otherwise. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng other categories, trinogram natin, no? To be 0. Okay? Yan. Eh, niabot gid mo diri. Guys, for a while lang ha, I'll just accommodate mga relatives. For a while lang, sandali lang masyado guys ha. Yan. Hopefully nagawa niyo 'yon ha. Yan. So yan yung itsura niya. Okay? Yan. Okay, just very quick lang 'to. Mga 5 minutes so we can have a break na 5 minutes. Okay. For a while lang ha. May
Sa to yung label classmates? Sa to yung label?
Di ba parenting nominal?
Wala ba yung
Parenting
here
nom
sa coded ko ang 4 na equivalent niya 0, naga-blank siya. Pero na-add ko siya. Bakit
kay
kaya?
0 magud siya, 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 siya, ma'am.
Ay, walay 4. Sabi na ko.
Walay 4. Ang 0, 1, 2 kay otherwise. O niya, ano, ang 0, 1, 2, mo to siya
Ay,
ang
wala di. Sorry.
kung sa to, authoritative man itong isa kay, pan, di ba? Yun sa tunako.
Zero is 0, no? 0 is 0.
0, 0. 1 is 0, 2 is 0.
1.
Ano sa itong gi-code ni sir itong sa transform? Okay, numbering lang din, no? Ang 3 kay 1, ang 0, 1, 2 kay 0, then diri na siya mo kuan sa pag-add to og date variable view, nag-otherwise ra siya, ang values gi-change siya, otherwise ang 0, ang 1 kay, so to, ang 1 kay authoritative. Tama ba? Dugay ko na-accept ni sir.
Okay na po. Thanks, Ma'am Chel and Ma'am Joanne. Wala di ay 4, 0 to 3.
Kalisod aning maglista unya mag-apas.
Lagi.
Mag-execute, maglista unya mag-execute. Sana all maka-rent sa brains ni Sir Nats. Check sana ako, ma'am ha.
Yes, Ma'am Chel. High and low lang siya.
Yes, oo. Motivation nom. Yeah. 1 to 6 man to. Aw murag 7, Ma'am Shell.
Naghatag naging si Doc Morsha ganina para mapasa na nato tong output.
Up to 7, Ma'am Shell.
Yun sa no up to 7. Ma'am Jo,
Dili ka tong motivation gani nga range murag 4 to 7 ang high.
wait. Ang motivation. Di ba high ug low lang man to?
Nag-coding pud to Sir Dex, di ba?
Oo, nag-coding pero
Mo to ang 1 to 7 iyang
pila man to?
range.
Di ba? Ang 1 to 7, range to niya. Tapahatan. Di man ako makita. Di naman siguro na ako makita.
Nag-range sa siya ma'am from 0 to 3. Then gi-code siya as low. And
0 to 3, then
Then 4 to 7.
4 to 7 kay high.
Mm-mm.
Marang para sa siguro gyapon. Pero kuan lang siguro, di ba?
Maglahi sir ang frequency kung mausab ang range.
Nakalimot na likuan ni yun sa tunako.
Oo, nagkuan sa siya ma'am. Di ba iya to gi-range? Nagbug na siya 0 to, ang range was 0 to 4. Then gihimo niyang 0. Ang 0 to 4. Tapos, ang 4 to 7, gihimo niyang 1. Dayon, gihimo niyang label ang 0 nga low. And then, ang 1 naging high.
Yeah.
Parang gigrupo sa niya. Tapos, ang mga grupo niya, gibugnaan niya code. Tapos, nilagyan niya ng description.
Magpaano ko din. Label. motivation. All values. Diba mag-tap man sa range from 0 to 3. Ay, lowest value 0. Tama ba niya? 0, tapos 1, tapos mag-range. 0.
ขึ้นในเรื่องโปรดใช้วิจารณญาณในการรับชม
Datagam.
K-drama ka ay Sir Jonathan. Charot.
Okay. Pwede na di ay nakita na nako. Tapos 0 low. 1 high. Okay. Nakuha na ako. Okay. Off ang
Okay. Yan. So, resume ta guys ha, sorry. Na-delayed. Nangabot akong mga relatives bigla. We do the same for the other categories. So, magbalik ko diri. Ayan. It looks like that na ang katong PS ng authoritative. So, fast forward, ang other categories would look like this. You know? So, let's click analyze. No. Transform, recode into different variables. This time, ang ato na pong himon is authoritarian. Authoritarian. No. So that's the new variable that we will create. Just click change. Okay, so it's here now. And then let's go to old and new values. Okay. And then, ang atong himoon is, ang himoon nato is, ang kaning 2, mauna po siya nga to ang i1. Okay? Can you follow unsa ang akong gihimo? Ang 2 gi-click nako and then 0 man to, I change it to 1. And then you click change. Okay, so you see, ang 2 it's not anymore 0 but 1. And then the others would be 0. So kining 3 this would be 0. Click change. And then, of course, ang 1 is 0. Okay, okay. That's already good. So we have only one category here with the code 1, and that's 2, standing for authoritarian. Okay? So I will click continue, and I will click OK. Hopefully, it created for us, okay, this variable here. It's here. So we're good. And just to check it, ang 1 din are supposed to be kadtong mga authoritarian. So you see, authoritarian 1, authoritarian 1. Yan. Ang uban nga category should be 0. Okay? So, ang permissive is 0, ang uninvolved is 0. Yan. Isa pa. Authoritative should be 0. Ganina 1 ni siya, karon 0 na. Okay, after that, we will go to variable view and then mag-legend na punta. So, ang 1 would be authoritarian. Okay? Authoritarian. Good. And then ang 0, otherwise. Apil na di atong tulo. No? Oh, why apil? Add. Pag na-add na, then you click continue. Okay? So, it should look like this here. Okay? Check ko lang. Gilan, are you following? Nasundan ra nimo ang ato ang
Yes po, Doc.
process? Okay, good. What about the others, Kevin? Are you following?
Hindi po ako naka-follow, Doc.
Hindi ka naka-follow. Saan ka nawala na part?
Doon sa Doc, sa pag-label.
Meaning sa start pa lang, dun sa authoritative, hindi mo na siya nakuha dito?
Opo po, medyo nahuli lang ako, Doc, kasi nag-follow ako sa sa pinipindot niyo.
Okay. So, dito sa last, actually, the same lang naman ang process sa lahat ng gawin natin na dummy coding. So, itong sa last, i-figure out mo ito kasi pag nakuha mo ito, i-apply mo lang to dun sa iba. Okay. So, ang gawin natin is i-dummy code natin yung ito na category. Permissive. So, ang 1 ngayon, na original 1, yun ang gawin nating 1. Ang 3 would be 0, ang 2 would be 0, ang 0 of course would be 0. Okay? Yan. Kanina, yung first 2 na ginawa natin, okay, yung first, ito yon. So, ang 3 ginawa nating 1, ang 2 ginawang 0, ang 1 ginawang 0, ang 0 ginawang 0. Okay? That created this one here. Ito naman pangalawa, ang ginawa natin dyan was, itong number 2, ginawa nating 1. Ang 3 is 0. Ang 1 is 0. Ang 0 is 0, of course. So ngayon, ang gawin natin is for 1. Okay? So in this process, 1 permissive would be 1. 3 would be 0. 2 would be 0. 0 would be 0. Okay? That's what we will do now. So I'll click transform, recode into different variables. And then this one will be the dummy for permissive. Click change. And then all the new values. Okay, i-edit lang natin to guys kasi hindi tayo nag-reset. So may laman na to. Okay. Ang laman dito is yung scheme. Okay, yung scheme for the previous process. Yung ginawa natin for authoritarian. So i-edit lang natin yon. Okay. Ngayon, ang 1, itong 1, yan, na-highlight natin. So ito yon, 1. Instead na 0 ang value niya, gawin nating 1. Okay? And then you click change. Okay. Yung 0 is still 0. Yung 2, 1 yan siya, di ba? 2, ang value niya is 1. So instead naman gawin natin 0. And then you click change. Ang 3, dapat 0 pa rin. So, kasi 0 na siya, daan. So we will not do something about it. So here, in this dummy variable, which stands for permissive parenting style, yung permissive originally 1 is siya yung 1 ngayon sa bagong variable. The others, okay, the other categories are 0. So, basically yun yung concept guys ng dummy coding. Okay, so you click continue and then you click okay. And then pagdating natin dito, then it's here. So dapat lahat ng permissive 1 just to visually check. Yan, permissive 1 and it should be true to the other permissives here. Yan. And the other should be 0 like uninvolved. Okay? Yan. Okay. So anong next? Kasi na-convert na natin, na-recode na natin into 0 and 1, then punta na tayo dito sa legend. Okay? So ang 1 here is permissive. Ang 0 would be otherwise. And then you click OK. So when I go to data view, it now looks like this one here. Okay, I'll click save just to make sure. Yan. So again, bakit tatlo lang ang ating ginawa? Kasi gusto nating maiwasan yung dummy variable trap na concept. You can read about it if you want a deeper understanding about it. Hindi naman yun mahirap na konsepto eh. So we are using yung category na ano ba yung category? Na uninvolved as the reference category in this dummy coding process. Okay. So before I'll proceed, while others are also finalizing their outputs there, Emily, what are your thoughts? Ano yung general understanding mo sa konsepto ng dummy coding at this point in time? Emily? Kung si Emily is hindi niya na-recognize yung question ko. Siguro si Joanne. Joanne, ano yung thoughts mo about yung process of dummy coding na ginawa natin?
Yung sa dummy coding po sir, nag-a-assign po tayo ng okay. Parang as yung for example yung 3 variables na dynamic code po natin, ito po yung nag-assign tayo ng code for each and every variable po.
Okay. So in short, naka-create tayo ng mga new variables, no? Yan. Naka-create tayo ng new variables dito. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Anong tawag na natin sa mga variables na ito?
Dummy variables.
We call this dummy variables. Yan. Dummy variables. Okay. So, yan. Okay. So ngayon, ang gawin natin is i-run na natin yung logistic regression kasi may data na tayo for parenting style. Okay. Na dummy code na natin. Going back to our framework, okay, may nagtanong sa akin before, Doc, kasi na dummy code na natin ang parenting style, dapat bang mayroon ng tatlong parenting style dito na boxes? No, may parenting style na siya sa sa authoritative, mayroon ng another box, parenting style sa permissive, etc., etc. Okay, ang sagot is hindi, no? Hindi. Kasi nagdadami code nga tayo eh. It still represents the original parenting style variable. Meaning to say the three parenting style dummies represent this original variable here. Okay? So yun yung concept talaga ng dummy coding. And ina-apply natin ito, again, i-repeat ko lang ha, yung meaning niya, ng application niya. Ina-apply natin to siya for nominal variables, just like parenting style, na may 3 or more categories. Okay? Yeah. So ngayon, irarana natin yung logistic regression. So what we will do is we will click analyze. Okay. And then we will click regression. And then we will click binary logistic. Okay. So ang DV natin based sa ating model is still AP na discrete, no? So academic performance na discrete or nominal. And then ang ating independent variables, study habits, na, of course, nominal. Motivation level na nominal. And then parenting style na nominal. And dummy coded. So let's first click study habits. And then motivation level na nominal. Okay. Bakit naging nominal ang motivation level dito as indicated? Kasi we transformed the original scale motivation to nominal motivation. And then we will now enter this dummy here. Enter din natin ang dummy na ito and then this dummy here. Okay? And then let's click categorical just like last time. And then lahat ng categorical variables, ito naman sila are all categorical, no? So I'll click Control A to highlight all of them. Lagay ko dyan. And then remember yung process of changing the reference category to first. Okay? Kasi ang default niya is last. Ngayon gawin natin first. Okay? And then you click change. The idea here is that we want the logistic regression process to give us results that are referring to the one category. No, one category. Okay, kasi nag 1010 tayo ngayon. Okay? So you click continue and then dito sa save, okay lang yan, wala tayong gawin dyan. Options, click natin itong classification plots. Based on discussion natin last time, ito yung magpapakita sa atin ng idea about the model sensitivity and the model specificity. And dito rin natin makikita kung may improvement ba ang prediction accuracy ng model when titingnan natin yung null model or yung sa block 0. Okay, the model without the independent variables and i-compare natin sa model in block 1 or the full model, meaning to say the model with all the independent variables. So ito yung classification plots. And then itong Hosmer-Limshaw, goodness of fit, palabas natin. And then at times kiniklik natin yan. Okay, kunwari walang p-value na available kasi may mga outfits or publication outfits or journals na hindi tumatanggap ng p-value as a form of significance or as a reference of significance. Kasi I think na-mention ko sa inyo before na may debate kasi dyan eh. Others don't treat or don't consider the p-value as a very reliable reference for telling whether the result is significant or not. So may mga ibang journals na ganun, may mga scholars din na ganun yung stand nila. And so, paano nila tinitingnan kung significant ang variable or not? They are using the confidence interval. I think nagawa natin to before. So, others would click that. But for now, wag lang natin gawin kasi I think believer naman tayong lahat sa p-value. No? Yan. May nagtanong sa akin, Doc, ikaw, do you use the p-value? I say yes, no, if allowed. What if not allowed? I'll use the confidence interval. Okay, walang problema yon. So for now, wag lang natin i-click yan. And we will click continue. Okay. And then you click okay. Okay, so ito na yung classification tables natin. Yan, ito na yung sa full model. Nagawa na natin yan last time, no? Okay. Yan. Okay. So ito na yung ano ngayon. Ito na yung result. Okay. Yan. So, ininterpret na rin natin to last time, ha? So, the same lang ang manner of interpretation, no? May ginawa akong lecture notes niyan for the last week na discussion. Yan. Padala ko sa inyo. Idagdag natin tong goal natin ngayon. Kasi ang goal natin ngayon nga is makarun tayo ng dummy-coded model. Okay? So, na-expose ko kayo sa dummy coding process. And then, gawin natin tong results to run yung simulation. No? Yung simulation. Okay. What do you mean by simulation? Okay. Yung tong idea na to. Okay. So since may results na tayo, ang magandang malaman is how do we utilize the results in terms of knowing the probability that certain students would pass given or knowing their study habits, knowing their parenting style, and then knowing their motivation level. Okay? Yan. For example, what is the probability that student 1 here, ano to siya? Anong estudyante to? Mayroon siyang bad study habits. Ang parents niya are involved, meaning pinapabayaan na siya sa klase niya. And then, ang motivation level niya is low. Okay? Ang tanong, kung mayroong ganitong estudyante, okay, what is the probability that this student would pass or would have a passing mark? Okay. Yan. Yung pangalawang estudyante naman, okay, the student has good study habits, exposed to parents who are authoritative, and has, okay, palitan natin to, and has a high motivation. So yun yung dalawang klaseng possible scenarios in the future in the form of possible students, no? And i-predict natin ang probability that they would pass. Meaning to say, ang probability na ang DV nila is 1. Okay, kasi ang DV na 1 or AP which is equal to 1, yun naman yung passing. Yan. Am I making sense? Okay? Am I making sense sa point na ito na ating dinidiscuss ngayon?
Yes, Doc.
Is it making sense to you, like Gilan, yung next natin na gawin? Okay. Verify ko lang guys ha. Clear ba ang audio ko sa inyo? This time? Or putol-putol?
Yes po. Yes
Sige
po.
po, Doc.
Okay, good. Kasi pag kayo ang nagre-respond, hindi ko gaano marinig. So I'm worried baka hindi nyo rin clearly nakukuha yung discussion ko. But as I've seen here sa mga reactions ninyo, I think okay naman. No? Okay. So, balik ako doon. We will now do the simulation. But before the simulation, okay, i-establish ko lang a little bit guys ang mathematical dito, ang mathematical underpinning ng logistic regression. Okay. So I have this lecture usually. And sinabi ko nga na iniiwasan ko na yung mga PowerPoints, but nevertheless, for this particular insight, gamitin ko lang yung PowerPoint to lay down yung insight about the mathematics behind this para maintindihan natin ano pala yung algorithm talaga ng logistic regression. Paano siya ginagawa, ano yung mga purposes niya. Okay. So, ito, nira natin ang logistic regression and we have these results. Okay. What are we doing here? What does this process mean? Okay. Ganito yon. Kasi ang logistic regression, like in our case, multiple logistic regression, mayroon siya parang 3 steps. Ang procedure na to works in 3 steps. Okay? Ang first step niya is yung parang sa linear regression na step, wherein ini-estimate natin yung logistic regression equation. Okay? So in general, ang ating logistic regression equation looks like this. Okay? Yan. Okay? So we would look into the y. Ito yung y actually. Okay. Yan, this is the y. Ito yung dv natin, which is also equal to this one here, the natural log of the probability that y is equal to 1. Okay, so this is also our y. So meaning to say, whatever it is, okay, this could be passing in academics, this could be passing the bar exams, this could be voting for Bongbong Marcos, or this could be voting for Digong if he runs for president in 2025, or vice president rather in 2025, something like that, no? Okay, so this could be any dependent variable na discrete. Okay, so as you can see, ang mathematical basis or model ng linear regression at saka logistic regression has similarity. Particularly, similar sila dito na part. Ito. Yan. Itong part na to is a bit similar dun sa linear. Itong part na yan. Okay? Itong part naman na to, the y part, the left-hand side of the equation, is different. Kasi dun sa linear regression, y talaga yan eh. Because you are dealing with continuous variable there. Sa logistic regression, the y part or the left-hand side of the equation is not really y itself, but it's now the natural log of the odds of getting y is equal to 1, whatever 1 is. In our case, the natural log of getting academic performance that is passing. Okay, so yun yung first step niya. It's the model estimation. But ang kagandahan kasi sa logistic regression is it allows us to really predict a certain scenario in terms of probability of occurring or probability of happening. No? Hindi lang natin malaman, just like in linear regression, ano yung variables na significant predictor, just like in this model. Okay. But malalaman natin, what's the probability for a certain kind of student, just like in our case earlier, student 1 and 2, of passing. Okay. Ang tanong, sir, di ba sa linear regression, kung ginamit natin tong equation na ito, nakalabel ngayon as equation 4, di ba makuha na natin ang y? Okay, just like in linear regression, i-substitute lang natin. Okay, ang sagot is yes kung linear regression ito. But since this is logistic regression and the y here is in terms of natural log, i-process pa natin siya further. Kaya mayroon tayong second equation, no? Ito yung kukunin natin yung anti-lag of the odds here sa taas. So how do you get it? Mathematically, tanggalin mo lang yung ln dito sa taas. No? Kasi ang naiwan sa loob, ang naiwan dito na equation is basically, okay, di ba ito is this one here sa loob. Yan. So how did we get this one sa loob? You just get anti-lag of it. Medyo complicated lang ang mathematical derivation yan. But basically, hindi pwedeng tanggalin lang yung ln, okay, yung parenthesis, yung mga mathematics majors dito, alam nila na mayroong derivation yan. No? So, the point is, when you undergo the mathematical derivation to get rid of the ln here, and therefore get the natural log of the y, you would result to this kind of equation now. Okay. Will you now be able to get the probability of this through this equation? Hindi pa. Ito yung last na equation na ating gagamitin. Because this is now the probability of getting y is equal to 1. So what do? You just use this one here as the numerator. Okay. And then you use it again as part of the denominator here. And then, of course, sa denominator, mayroon lang tayong 1 na constant there. Ito. So, in short, mukhang mahirap siyang gawin, but kung tingnan mo, no, it's just really imputation of whatever values you would have. Kasi, whatever you would get here is ito siya. Ito yun siya. And then, whatever you would pass, no, in our specific example. In other examples, general examples, you would now be able to get the probability that the y which is equal to 1 would occur. Okay? Yan. So, in short, mayroong 3 steps itong logistic regression. So far, ang nagawa natin is itong outputs na to. Ang nagawa natin is na-generate natin yung values ng B0, B1, B2, up to B3. Parang yung equation 4, pwede na nating magawa. Okay? Ang next na lang natin nagawin is equation 5 and equation 6. Okay? So, how do we do that? Yan. I think I have something here. Okay. So, ito na yan. Step 1, we will get now the natural log of the logit. Yun yung equation 4 kanina. Bakit nag-equation 4, 5, 6 na yan? Kasi, ang equation 1 has something to do with simple logistic regression. Basically, the same lang logic nila, guys. No? Okay? Dumiretso lang ako dito sa multiple logistic regression equations kasi yun yung ating scenario ngayon. Okay. So, going back, you see, this equation 4 is basically this. And in our specific example, this one here would look like, that's not anymore y because we have a specific BB, which is academic performance. B0 is equal to what? Can you help me remember, get the numbers here? Hopefully, pareho tayo, no? But if not, I'll just use what I have here. That's 2.13 negative. So, negative 2.1183. That's the constant, no? That's B0. What is B1? Study habits tayo, guys. That's 1.487. 1.487. Sorry. Times x1. What is x1? Study habits. Okay. I'll just use an asterisk here. Where's my asterisk? Yan. Okay. Plus, or maybe I'll just remove, guys, the asterisk para hindi na siya hahaba. B2 is equal to, let's get the motivation here. B2 is this one here. 2.108 plus 2.108. And then this one is motivation level. Ang B3 natin would be this one. Okay? PS na authoritative. That's 0.832. B3 is 0.832. And then PS na PS authoritative. Shortcut ko na lang. Okay. Ano? Is that authoritative or also... Oh yeah, authoritative. Yeah. Okay. Plus the other one. Or minus pala. Minus 1.05. Minus 1.05 PS. Ano yan? Sorry guys, that's authoritarian. PS authoritarian. Okay, so this one is PS authoritarian. Yan. This one is authoritative, authoritarian. And then we will get the last one, the permissive. That's 1.414. Okay. This is plus 1.414. And then PS na permissive. Okay? Ganyan. So, medyo mahaba siya. I want to make it shorter. Ano ba to? Ayan. Okay. So, ito na yung ating empirical model. Okay? Ang general model niya is like that. Ito na yung empirical model natin. In our case, anong sabi? Case of student 1. Okay? Ang study habits niya is bad. Ang parenting style niya uninvolved. Ang motivation niya is low. So, ang study habits niya raw is bad. So, how do we do that? Let's copy this one here. Copy ko lang to. Bad. So, this will be 0 times 0. Why am I multiplying it by 0? Because ang study habits, dalawa lang naman yan 1 or 0. 1 if good, 0 if bad. And this particular student, bad siya, so 0 ang study habits niya. Ang motivation niya raw is low, so ang ML niya is also 0. And ang parents niya ay uninvolved. Okay? So basically 0 ito. Okay? So 0 din ito. The other are 0. Okay? Yan. And so if you do the arithmetic here, can somebody do it sa calculator? This one should be 0, right? Okay. So if this one is 0, then this one is 0. Okay. Ngayon. So 0 din yan, guys. No? Okay, so that one would be 0. Ito, puro pala 0 to eh. So hindi siya mahirap, no? 0 yan.
Sir,
This one is
negative
also
7
0.
point. Answer, sir, kay negative
Meron bang?
0.7619.
Bakit? Meron bang ma-change? Kasi
Kay
zero
negative
naman
man,
to.
dako man ang negative there is a negative 2, sir. So, may
Okay, and
something.
then
Ay, 0 pala yan siya. Ang 1 point.
zero. Tama ba? Zero ba lahat?
Yes po.
Kasi ng study
0
habits,
lahat, sir.
uninvolved, zero siya. Zero lahat, no? So, ang maiiwan lang is constant, no?
Yung constant, yes po.
Yes po,
So, zero
constant.
yan lahat. So, in short, tama, no? Yan. So, yan lang siya.
Opo.
Okay? So, the natural log of the logit value is this. Okay, ano daw sabi? Gawin natin yan. Ito, we will use this kasi ito yun siya, ang entire. The negative 2.183 is the exponent here. So that should be, the value here should be negative 0.1. Sorry. Copy ko lang to guys para hindi siya mawala dyan sa ating lecture notes. Gawin ko yan dito. In short, ito siya. The entire exponent here, this is the same as this one here. Okay? Of which the value is really negative 2.183. So I'll put that there, negative 2.183. Okay? Divided by 1 plus E times the same. No? Yung entire value dito is negative 2.183. Okay? So that's the equation here. Right? Yan.
So,
But itong
approximately,
E,
sir, 0.101, sir.
pardon?
Approximately.
Itong E may value to, no?
Yes po.
Ano yung value sa E? 2.
Wala, sir. Diretso na ako, sir. Ang answer, sir. The whole part, the whole,
Pero
sir.
ang E, just to show, ang E may value to eh. For a while, guys. Hanapin
Wait
natin.
lang, sir.
What's the value of E? Sorry.
2.1. Wait.
2.718? Ano ba?
Negative
Kalimutan
ito,
ko.
sir, di ba?
2.718.
So yung E, ang E actually is a constant eh.
2.718.
2.718, no? Yeah, correct.
Yes,
So ang
Doc.
E actually is a number that is 2.718. Yan. And this one also here should be 2.718. Yan. Okay? So if you do that, you do the calculation here, ano ang result? Yung sabi? Arithmetic lang naman yan eh. What's the result?
The whole, ang lahat-lahat na, sir.
Yeah, lahat-lahat na yan.
Approximately 0.1013 or
0.101.
01.
Okay. So yan na yun. Meaning to say, based sa ating equation, ito na yung equation 5 natin. Okay? Yan. Equation 5. Okay? So sorry, na-shortcut ko pala ito. Ito yun, get the anti-log of the logit. Yan, ito yun, equation 5. Okay? So ang step 3 natin is to get now the probability. Sorry.
Sir, question po. Wala na ko
Oh.
naka-follow. Yung sa E po na values, saan po yun kinuha, sir?
Ano?
Yung sa E po na value, dun sa second, ano yun, equation, yung kinompute po natin, yan. Ay, sa baba
Ito.
Opo,
Yung constant,
E,
no?
Ito siya.
yung E po. Yung 2.718.
Ito.
Yes po.
Yes. Constant yan. E is a mathematical constant. Meaning to say, its value, although it's a letter, okay, it has a value. Parang pi siya na 3.1416.
Okay.
Okay, ang
po,
E
sige.
is 2.718.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, okay. So, by the way, ito na yung probability, guys. So, what is the probability? Or, approximately 10%, no? Okay? Is that right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? This means that
Hmm. Masa itong
this
first
particular
given.
student would have a 10% probability of getting a passing academic performance. What kind of student is this?
Kaya nga, katong ano to?
Ito yung student na yon.
Bad
Case
study
number 1.
habit, Doc.
Uninvolved and then mababa ang motivation. So pangit yung profile niya eh. So yung what if ang estudyante has good study habits and then authoritative ang parents niya and then mataas ang motivation niya. Okay? What would be the probability of passing for this particular student? So basically, copy lang natin to. Baguhin lang natin ang mga values, guys. Ha? Ito na yung case number 2. Okay? Dito lang naman magbabago yun eh, no? Dito. Okay. So anong ano siya? Ang student na yon has good study habits. So ito siya is 1, right? Kasi yan yung study habits na variable there. And then ang motivation niya is
High.
high.
So 1.
So 1 din yan, right? Ang
Authoritative.
kanyang parents, authoritative. So 1 siya dyan. And then ito is 0. 0 na rin to. 0 na yung iba, right? Okay. So if 1 siya, then this will not be 0. Rather, it would be, yan. Tama? Kasi multiply lang naman natin sa 1 eh. Right? And then ito is also 1. So it will not be 0. Okay? It will be that one. Okay? And then ito, this will not also be 0. Kasi 1 yan siya. Times 1. So it should be this one here. The others are all 0. Right? So pwede nating tanggalin yon. Okay? Yan. So if you add this one, what's the result? Remember, negative tong constant, ha? What's the result?
Wait.
3.244, Doc.
2.244 Doc.
Ha?
2.244.
Ang iba-iba. Ano yan? 2.244.
244.
3.244,
Ano
Doc.
yung sa'yo, Kevin? Tama na yan.
Okay.
Okay. 2.244. Okay? So ito siya, ang gawin nating exponent dito. Okay? So 2.244. Okay? Ito is 2.244. And this one will be 2.244. And this one would be 2.244. Okay, if you do the computation, what's the result?
Doc, 0.904.
This one is 0.904 or approximately 90%.
90.4%.
90.4% or yeah, 90%. So, student number 2 would have around 90% probability of getting a passing AP. Okay. So, here, ang kagandahan sa konsepto na ito ng logistic regression is, if you want a certain AP, like, kunwari gusto mo i-simulate ang passing na mataas, like 90% passing, then you can somehow manipulate this part here. Ano yung parents niya dapat? Ano yung motivation niya? So kunwari, ang motivation niya is low, and then pag compute mo, hindi siya papasa kasi 72 lang siya. Anong gawin mo? Gawa ka ng intervention for the motivation variable. Okay? Para papasa siya. Right? So that ang motivation niya instead na 0 maging 1. Instead na low maging high. So kunwari sa guidance and counseling to, yun yung gawin niya. From 0 dapat maging 1 ang motivation niya. From low dapat maging high. So there should be an institutional intervention for that. So that ma-predict mo yung ma-generate mo yung probability na passing for a certain student. Okay. And this process can be extended like to other disciplines, no? Kung sa election, no? So what would be the probability that a certain respondent would vote for candidate candidate A? Okay? Oh. So malalaman mo na okay, dapat ang study habits, of course hindi naman study habits yan. Dapat ang X1 niya should be 1. Ang X2 niya dapat 1. Ang X3 niya dapat something like that. Okay. So may mga decisions kang magawa. Okay, may mga policies kang magawa if you subject, certain institutional problems to statistical analysis. If applicable lang naman just like logistic regression. Okay? I'd like to believe yung upcut, no? Kasi ang UP has a very strong admission policy, no? Malalaman nila na okay, pag ang upcut mo ganito, hindi ka ma-admit. Okay. I'd like to believe na mayroon silang model na ginagamit wherein yung upcut score is one of the excess. Pag pinasok nila yung upcut kasi naka-program na 'yon, no? May isang estudyante nag-upcut ng certain value. Pagpasok nila dito sa value na 'yon, kunwari ito yung upcut variable, ma-generate nila, for example, kunwari logistic model 'yon, ma-generate nila like 4 years after, papasa ba to sa board exam? Yung estudyante na to. Okay, papasa ba to sa engineering? Kunwari lang. Okay? Yan. So, ginawa ko kasi yan when I was still the psychometrician sa Brokenshire. I created an admission, college admission model which is logistic in nature. So, pag nag-take ang estudyante ng Brokenshire College Admission Test, BACT, na kami rin ang gumawa, no? It was a standardized test with norms. Ginawan talaga namin ang norming yon. So, pag nag-take siya noon, i-input ko yung score niya sa model na na-develop namin, malalaman ko whether papasa ang estudyante sa nursing board exams 4 years later. Just imagine, ang model na na-create ko sa research na institutional research na ginawa ko long before mga 2005 or 2004 could be used to predict whether a student would pass the boards 4 years later on. Of course, maraming independent variables yon dito. Isa doon ang admission test. Okay? So, ang admission office would have a basis, no, for accepting or not. Kasi there was a time na ang admission sa Brokenshire College was selective. Hindi siya naging open admission. So, we wanted to have a guide in terms of whom to admit. Something like that. I think ang PhilSci may mga models din yan eh. Hindi naman like sa inyo, sir, Jonathan, hindi naman
Yes, sir.
nire-reject yung certain estudyante. Di ba?
Yes, sir. Malaki po ang ano tawag dito, the beta on income.
Sa inyo?
Oo. Very
Ah.
factor in po kasi yung income. We usually choose the poor but deserving students.
Okay. So, but I'd like to believe, no, na may regression model or whatever admission model na naging basis for selecting those type of students. Kaya hindi lang siya na, okay, pag poor, automatic may malaking chance